Hello friends, this is DMC and this is my quick review of Marks & Spencer's French style coffee beans, and I picked these up at the reasonable price of £2.25, and before reviewing this one I also bought a bag of the ground coffee as well as the beans. And if you've seen my recent review as well, I reviewed the Italian style coffee beans as well, so pretty similar and a similar price. But I thought rather than reviewing the ground coffee I may just go straight in and review the beans. So let's take a look at the bag. Similar to the Italian, actually it's not, the Italian is a number 4 and the French is a number 5. Intense roast, profile deeply rich, bold and intense. The origin is Latin America and Brazil. 100% Arabica, fair trade coffee. Roasted Arabica coffee beans. Serving suggestions, storage instructions. It's got a sticky tab on there for resealing your bag, but I wouldn't advise it really. If this bag will last you more than sort of like a couple of days, I would say put it into a different container. And there we go, the great food quality seal. This coffee is specialty grade, debatable, which is the highest grade of Arabica you can get. This means our fair trade coffee is always of the finest quality for a truly delicious flavour and aroma in every cup, every time. And that's debatable as well, because you could actually make a mistake in the brewing process, which would not make your coffee delicious. So there we go. And contact information, and the best before date is the 7th of 2022, so well over a year on the best before date on this one. Anything else? It's in French there on the side. M&S Fairtrade Coffee guarantees fairer pay, social change and environmental protection for farmers and workers, enabling them to invest in their future and communities. And finally get to the description. It says the perfect Parisian style coffee. The traditional French technique is to roast beans past the second crack, where deep complex flavours dominate. It unlocks the subtle chocolate tones of these Latin American beans, making an intensely rich breakfast or after dinner coffee. And that is it for the pack. So let's take a look at the beans. Sort of medium in size. There is quite a variation in the size there, but the roast is pretty even. Slightly burnt around the edges in places, but quite a dark roast anyway. And the aroma of the beans is sweet, caramelly and smoky. It's rich, earthy and nutty. It's quite pungent and intense. It's not perfect, but it's a really nice bold aroma from these beans. Slightly oily, just the way I like them to, but nothing too oily, I would say, compared to some, like the Starbucks for instance. It's nowhere near as oily as them beans. Quick look at the ground coffee. Slight reddish look to this one, but quite a darkish brown, and when ground it's a lot richer with a sort of meat stew kind of hint. There's a real bite to it as well, maybe even a floral hint, but nothing too obvious like some French roasts that converge on the almost chemical side. But this is quite subtle and smooth, so let's hope that doesn't transfer to blandness in the taste. So, taste-wise, it's rich, dark and strong. It's slightly nutty and chocolatey and has an interesting spicy finish. It's very bitter and even sour, but nothing too unpleasant. But it's from sort of like the start to the finish, and hints at that sort of chemical bitterness that a lot of dark French roasts have. but it's nothing too bad and can be tamed either by brewing for less time or using less coffee, or by piling in the milk, in which case this is a good coffee for those cappuccinos or lattes. It's full bodied too. It's a bit more abrasive than the Italian roast I reviewed recently from Marks and Spencer's, but at the same time that makes it a bit more interesting than that one. And I'll give this one a score of 3.25 out of 5. Decent quality and a decent price. If you like a coffee with a prolonged bitter blast, this one may be worth a try. If you like a little less bitterness, I'd go for the Italian beans instead. I've been quietly impressed by the new M&S coffees, which I'd describe as surprisingly cheap and cheerful. My thought about M&S was that they were quite expensive, but these coffees seem to be a really decent price. So I'd really like to hear from anyone who's tried this coffee or any of the other coffees from Marks and Spencer's or the Italian roast. Let me know what you think of them in the comments section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more coffee reviews in the future, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.